As part of the Creative Museum project, we're exploring creative practice as well as co-curation and collaboration with our local maker community.
We include engineering, we include a bit of maths, a bit of technology, but obviously still try to link that with the collection. So we try to find people who appreciate art but think about art in a completely different way than we would have in the Chester Beatty Library.
We would work with a lot of traditional artists and we'd look at traditional ways of interpreting the collections. But with the maker community, it's far more innovative, it's experimental, it's creative, and it's something new. So we've started engaging with our maker community by going out and meeting them in their own hacker maker spaces. And we've decided to create a conversation around this. First of all, I suppose relationship building is really important. And then second of all is inviting our maker community into the library.
Well, the collaboration came quite naturally. Actually, I was asked to come over to talk about new ideas for a workshop about art and science. I came up with the idea of maybe using the Fibonacci sequence because I've been using it a lot in my own work and doing some botanical work. I thought it made sense.
The Fibonacci sequence came to my mind because I have a background in marine science as well. I did a master's in marine science, so a little bit obsessed with the nautilus and the shape of the shell, so I've always been into that kind of pattern. You know, you explain that, how they come about through maths, and then let them go with the art and just use that as inspiration.
The children make an artwork using the Fibonacci sequence and the different patterns using sweets.
And this was the picture we got, which was a seashell. And then Grace drew us a diagram of it. And then we decided we were going to do like the background with sugar and like stick it on with glue. And then our seashell, the shading would be done with licorice, and then the rest of it would be done with jelly beans and sweets.
Going to places like the Chester Beatty and like other museums, and you could learn the sort of skills that incorporate both science and art, which would be useful and also enjoyable.
If I saw there was an exhibition on something like Fibonacci, I'd definitely look at it and see what it's about.
It's really fun to come in here, and it's not just the art you're doing, it's also the people you're meeting. So.
The examples of working well with the makers are in kind of response that you see when the workshops are taking place, in like the excitement, the surprise element, kind of good surprise. There's more laughter, and like I said, just different kind of audience.
Well, for example, today's workshop came from the scientist and the artist. It didn't come from the library. So it's not a hierarchical approach. It's far more, I suppose, experimental. We're taking risks in terms of inviting new ideas into the museum rather than it coming from a top-down approach. So we're open to suggestions and we're open to ideas, and that's all about prototyping and experimentation, which is the ethos of the maker community and the Creative Museum.
The first workshop that went really well, I feel, was when we engaged with a Turkish electronics engineer. I think he brought the collections to life in a completely different way than we would have ever been able to.
We did pixelation, stop motion and sound animation, which we've never done before in the Chester Beatty Library. And the teens responded so positively to the three approaches that they took. The teens, most importantly, got to know the collections in a really exciting and engaging way, plus they also developed really good friendships amongst themselves. It also changed the space of the library, and it changed our perception of how we engage with external partners when developing the programme.
Our programs are well attended, but I definitely see, like I said, a great improvement since we started working with the makers.